Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. A lot of people, they ask this question: when the Euphrates River, the Furat River, will dry up, what are the signs of the Mahdi that we can see right now, when Dajjal will appear, and so many things. So this video, I want to share with you two signs of the coming of the Mahdi, end of time. Now these signs are very subjective, means it can happen, it can not happen. I mean, it all depends on the decree of Allah Azza wa Jal, the qadr of Allah Azza wa Jal. Whenever He will decree these things to happen, will happen. But we do have some good information that we can share with you to say that yes, these signs are pretty obvious, and that the end of time, the coming of the Mahdi, will take place sooner than later. I'm going to be sharing few things with you before I talk about the signs of the Mahdi, these two major signs. I will give you some background in this part so that you have a basic idea what is going on. If you do not know, you should know this. This is very, very important for you to understand the sign of the coming of the Mahdi, the end of time. Number one is Jordanians, Jordan, people living in Jordan. They will have to halve their per capita use of water by the end of the century. Most Jordanians on lower incomes will live on 40 liters a day for all their needs. In other words, Jordan, they will have to cut their water usage, okay, and this can be very, very bad. It is estimated that they can only use 40 liters. In other words, they have water shortage, okay, keep that in mind, water shortage. We also know from the expert, Jordan now has a critical shortage of water. Water reaches the houses in Jordan once or twice a week, even in the capital Amman, and that is happening right now. We are not talking about hypothetically, it is happening as we speak. Jordanians, they get only water only once or twice a week. This is bad because US, they get like more than that, 10 times more than that, in fact. Israel, this is very important, Israel, the West Bank, Syria, and Lebanon, and dams building along the rivers have severely cut the flow of water flow to Jordan. Means all of these countries, they are building dams. They are building, making sure, they're building dams, they're making sure that this water, that whatever water they have, it is kept for their own usage. This is something also very, very important. The next point is even more important because this is going to be very, very relevant to the Euphrates River. Okay, are you ready? Jordan, Israel, and Syria have gotten better at coordinating management of the river system they rely on. But, okay, here is a big but tensions often erupt. Experts, they have said, that water scarcity, as it is getting worse and worse by day because of the climate change, could lead to more conflict. Means these countries will gather together and they will have no other option but to fight. This is how bad the situation is. The problem, according to an expert, he said, quote unquote, the problem is with this whole temperature, okay, we see the global warming and the world is warming up, means we are getting more hot weather everywhere in the world. With that temperature rise, whatever rainfall will come will evaporate because of it. Means even though you may get rain from the sky, but those rain will not make it to the ground and make it fertile because of the temperature rise. It will just vanish in the air, okay, evaporate. Now, dear brothers and sisters, why I'm mentioning all of this? Why? It is because, dear brothers and sisters, we know from the hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he made it absolutely clear, Yushikul Furat ayyahthira kanzun min dhahab. Rasulullah said that soon the river Euphrates will give up gold. In other words, the only time, logically, if you think about it, logically, the only time you will have this gold amount of mountain of gold being revealed by Euphrates River is actually when it will dry up. Because of the temperature rise, because it is too hot, because of the global warming, the river will end up losing all its water. Just like other canals, other river in that region are losing water, Euphrates River will have the same fate. Now, I want to show you something very, very interesting because I think you need to know this. But before we move ahead, I want you to consider subscribing to this channel because we talk about the end of time sign, Islamic eschatology. I've been talking about it for the last 5-6 years. Also, consider to join our membership and help support this channel. Let me show you this map, then you will have a better idea. Okay, dear brothers and sisters, as you can see right here, okay, this is supposed to be what? This is supposed to be a sea, okay, and it must have a lot of water, but it is dry, so dry that this ship looks like a old ship. It cannot move because there is no water around it. Now let's take a look at this one. Okay, the situation is so bad. As you can see, these are all dried land. There is nothing there. There's nothing happening there. These are all happening in the Middle East, by the way. It's in the same region. Now take a look at this one. Wallahi, this is drying up, and this is happening in the region Iran. Okay, Iran is also facing the same crisis, water crisis. No rain, and the lands are drying up, and the canals, the rivers are drying up. Let's take a look at this map. Okay, this is the map. As you can see, Turkey, Syria, Iran, but I will show you the actual Euphrates River map in a second. But as you can see, more pictures here, and this is in Iraq, and there is a place called Chibayash, and this, as you can see, this is completely dry. Okay, the water is gone, and this is not something happening all of a sudden. This is happening because of the global warming. Now let's take a look at this map. Okay, this is the actual map. If you want to see the Euphrates River, as you can see, Turkey is right here, and we can see Syria is here, and Iraq. So these three countries are actually closest to the Euphrates River, and all of them, their decision about water supply and water management affects the Euphrates River, and it can dry up depending on what kind of decision they make. Obviously, that will also depend on how much water they get. If they do not get enough water, then they will have no other choice but to build more dams and make it very hard for people to get water. The point here I'm trying to make here, dear sisters, is that wallahi, we are coming close to the end of time. Okay, this is my final point on this sign. Wallahi, we are coming very, very close to the end of time, and we are seeing all the alamat. Okay, we are seeing all the alamat. We are seeing all the signs. We need to be ready. We cannot close our eyes and say, well, these things are not going to happen very soon, but we need to prepare for it, and that it will happen very soon, and we have to rush. Now, the second thing that I also want to share with you as a sign of the end of time, on the coming of the Mahdi, is obviously what is happening right now in the world. As we know, what is happening with the Afghan people, Taliban took over. Some people, they are saying that this is the army of the Khorasan. I said, wait a second, we should not rush to make a decision or judge the situation or judge this group yet. We need to see what they are up to, what they will be doing, and then if they are truly the Khorasan, the army that will give Nusra to the religion of Allah Azza wa Jal, we will see characteristic from them. They are pretty new. They are not being tested in otherwise. We do not know what they will do next. If they go ahead and do something that is not Islamic and make decisions irrationally, make decisions that would go against the Quran and Sunnah, then obviously we will know that these people are not the chosen, I should say, the chosen army of the Mahdi. But these people, as I said, they have those qualities. They are very brave. The whole world has seen how they have defeated the superpower of our time, US military, after waiting for 20 years, putting up fight every single day of their life, and waiting for that long, and being subjected to so many oppression and whatnot. They never give up. They never give up, and US has spent $2.2 trillion, as we know, and nothing can stop them. They are in fact becoming more stronger, and they are now forming their own army, military. Wallahi, I mean, you will probably see very soon that US army will have to think twice before they try to even think about attacking them again in the future. Before, they were very disorganized. They were people wearing sandals on motorbikes and pickup trucks fighting, but now they're becoming more organized. So we will see how they behave. We will see what they do, and if this is the group of Allah Azza wa Jal, then we will know. If you are a true believer and you have Iman in your heart, nobody has to tell you anything. No CNN, no BBC, not any media. You will know in your heart that this is the group, this is the right group, if they are being chosen by Allah. But if they are not, then your heart will turn away from them. Because we are believers, Allah Azza wa Jal will put sakina in our heart. If He sends a group that will help us to give victory to the religion of Allah, He will put sakina. Muslims will feel much more secure and comfortable by their presence. But if they are not the right group, if Allah is not choosing them for us, then we will face more trouble than have our problems being solved. So again, something I think it will definitely be a sign of the end of time, that this group all of a sudden came from nowhere after 20 years. I mean, in the beginning, 20 years ago, nobody knew them, and for the last 20 years, nobody knows a lot about them. But now they popped up from nowhere and they conquered, the whole country in just 12 days. It is something unbelievable. So this is a sign. This is obviously a sign of the Khorasan army. But again, we will see what happens. Keep in touch, inshallah, with the Ummah. If you're new here, again, consider subscribing, like this video. If you share this video, I'll see you soon again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.